Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin was born Loseb Bessarianes Huhasvili, was a very prestigious man with very many ties to his name. He was leader of 3 decades. He was the chairman of the Council of Ministers, the People's Commissar of Defense, a full member of the 6th through 19th Presidium, as well as a military general. Although one of his greatest titles was the builder of one of the strongest economies and one of the most feared militaries in his era, he also was a great contributor to the rise of socialism. Joseph was born on December 18, 1878. He was born in a small town called Gori, now called Georgia, in Russia. As a child, Joseph had many health issues, starting from birth, where he was born with 2 adjoined toes on his left foot. At age 7, he was plagued with smallpox, which permanently scarred his face. His brother was banished from Russia at the age of 9 because he went on a drunken rampage. At age 16, he was given a scholarship to attend a prestigious seminary. Stalin played a decisive role in the 1921 Red Army invasion of Georgia, after which he adopted particularly hardline centralistic policies towards Soviet Georgia. This led to the Georgia Affair of 1922 and other repressions. Stalin's actions in Georgia created a rift with Lenin, who believed that all Soviet states should stand equal. Lenin nonetheless considered Stalin a loyal ally, and when he got mired in squabbles with Trotsky and other politicians, he decided to support Stalin. With the help of Lev Kamenev, Lenin appointed Stalin General Secretary in 1922. The post enabled Stalin to appoint many of his allies to government positions. Lenin suffered a stroke in 1922, forcing him into semi-retirement in Gorky. Stalin visited him often, acting as intermediary with the outside world, but the pair quarreled and their relationship deteriorated. Lenin dictated increasingly despairing notes on Stalin and what would have come his testament. He criticized Stalin's political views, rude manners, and excessive powers and ambition, and suggested that Stalin should be removed from the position of General Secretary. During Lenin's retirement, Stalin forged an alliance with Kamenev and Gregory Zinoviev against Trotsky. These allies prevented Lenin's testament from being revealed to the 12th Party Congress in 1923. Lenin died of stroke on 21st of January 1924. Following Lenin's death, a power struggle began which involved the following 7 Politburo members. Kamenev and Kamenev helped to keep Lenin's testament from going public. Thereafter, Stalin's disputes with Kamenev and Kamenev intensified. Trotsky, Kamenev, and Kamenev grew increasingly isolated and were eventually ejected from the Central Committee and then from the party itself. Kamenev and Zinoviev were later reanimated, but Trotsky was exiled from the Soviet Union. Stalin vastly increased the scope and power of the state's secret power intelligence agency under his guiding hand. Soviet intelligence forces began to set up intelligence networks in most of the major nations of the world, including Germany, Great Britain, France, Japan, and the United States. Stalin made considerable use of the Communist International Movement in order to infiltrate agents and to ensure the foreign communist parties remained pro-Soviet and pro-Stalin. One of the best examples of Stalin's ability to integrate secret policy and foreign espionage came in 1940 when he gave approval to the secret police to have Leon Trotsky assassinated in Mexico. acute personality developed in the Soviet Union in both Stalin and Lenin. Many personality cults in his history have been frequently measured and compared to his. Numerous towns, villages, cities were renamed after a Soviet leader, and Stalin Prize and Stalin Peace Prize were named in his honor. He accepted grandiloquent titles and helped rewrite Soviet history to provide himself a more significant role in the revolution of 1917. At the same time, according to Nikita Khrushchev, he said that he be remembered for the extraordinary modesty characteristic of truly great people. Statues of Stalin depict him at a height and build approximately the very tall Tsar Alexander III. Sources suggest he was approximately 5'4". Trotsky criticized the cult of personality built around Stalin. It reached new levels during World War II, with Stalin's name included in the Soviet national anthem. Stalin became the focus of literature, poetry, paintings, and film that exhibited fawning devotion. He was sometimes credited with almost godlike qualities, including the suggestion that he single-handedly won the Second World War. The degree to which Stalin himself relished the cult surrounding him is debatable. The Finnish communist Arvo Tiemann records a sarcastic toast proposed by Stalin at a New Year party in 1935, in which he said, "Comrades, I want to propose a toast to our patriarch, life and son, liberator of nations, architect of socialism, Joseph Stalin, and I. This is the first and last speech made to the genius this evening." In 1956, in a 1956 speech, Nikita Khrushchev denounced Stalin's cult personality with these words: "It is impermissible and foreign to the spirit of Marxism-Leninism to elevate one person, to transform into a superhuman possessing supernatural characteristics akin to those of a god." Stalin, as head of the Politburo of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, considered near absolute power in the 1930s, with a great purge of the party that was justified as an attempt to expel opportunists and counter-revolutionary infiltrators. Those targeted by the purge were often expelled from the party. In 1930, Stalin apparently became increasingly worried about the growing popularity of the Leningrad party boss, Sergei Sirov. At the 1934 Party Congress, where the vote from the Central Committee was held, Sirov received only 3 negative votes, the fewest of any candidate, while Stalin received at least over 100 negative votes. And that's the end of the presentation. Thank you.